All right, Sydney, welcome to the stage.
What up? With that intro beat, I feel like there's like high expectations here.
The absolute highest, absolute highest. I will turn things over to you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. All right, give me 2 seconds here, friends. I will share my screen. All right, amazing. Good morning, everyone, and there may be some in their afternoon. Thank you so much for joining Catalyst Customer Success at the Center Summit. Super excited to be able to present to all of you here today. So it has been a journey, and what I'm going to be able to share with you today is how we grew the customer success team at Catalyst from 3 to 20 in 6 months. A whole lot of learnings. There are some strategies that I'll include that were successful for us along the way, and then the results that we've been able to drive. So background, Sydney Strader, have the fortune of leading customer success at Catalyst. I joined this incredible team in September of 2020. And for those who may or may not be familiar with Catalyst, it's an amazing customer success platform that allows you to centralize your customer data in a single place and then serves up insights so that you can be prescriptive and take action in terms of areas that will drive value for your customers, hitting those net dollar retention targets and delivering an amazing customer experience that's consistent across your entire customer success team. So the task at hand when joining the customer success team at Catalyst, no small feat, no pressure, build a CS organization from scratch at a CS company, serving an experience that is meant for all of our customer success peers who we have the utmost respect for in the industry. So very tall order, but one that we have collectively been up for the challenge to tackle. So if I think of the first 6 months, I feel like naturally bags under my eyes like start to surface. It was a ride, right? It was true and true startup world, small, scrappy. We had 3 functions that had been set up. We had our implementation team, our customer success managers, and our amazing support team. There was literally one representative for each. So we had one implementation manager, one CSM, one support engineer. There was little, if no, process, quite possibly very little. And we were primarily reactive. So obviously not the motion that you want to be operating in as a customer success team. But the 6 months that followed is where we really hit our stride. And we built out a couple new functions with the introduction of renewals, customer experience, and CS operations. We now have a powerhouse team of 20 who are continuously rising to the occasion of delivering our customers an amazing experience and driving results for the business. We have built out extensive repeatable processes across each of the different functions that we have. We've very much been able to get command of our business as it relates to the performance measures and making sure that we are providing the appropriate signals to the business based on insights and learnings from our customer base. And I'll get to more details on the Jacob Muffin moment, but we are finally at a place where the foundation is laid and we can really start doubling down on the experiential side for our incredible customers. So it has been a ride, and I'm incredibly excited to jump in to 10 of the biggest learnings I've had in this crazy adventure to date, and the strategies that we applied throughout, and then closing out with some of the results that we've been able to drive, and which I hope you'll be able to drive as well, taking away some of the key learnings that I shared today. So learning number 1, don't underestimate the value of your vision. And do not be shy about communicating that vision to others. And I took on the opportunity at Catalyst. One of the things that I asked myself, and I ask myself this routinely, which is, what is the story I want to be able to tell? And when I heard of the Catalyst opportunity to lead CS at a CS company, build it from scratch, I thought to myself, I want to build the customer success team that is truly the best in the industry. They are so good that our customers and our prospects, our peers in the industry, are seeking out to work with this team because they know they're going to experience the best of the best. And they want to take that experience, internalize it, share it with their teams, and then project that back out to their customers to up-level the experience that they're getting. And so when I locked in that vision, that was why I took this opportunity. I was 100% all in doing whatever it took to make it happen. I shared that with Edward, our CEO. I shared that with my leadership team. I have shared that with every single employee and any individual that we have interviewed as part of our recruiting process, because I think it's so important for everyone to understand what that vision is and be like, hell yeah, like sign me up. That's what I want to be a part of. Or like, respect, but no, that's not something that, strikes me to my core. So don't underestimate the value of a vision, giving yourself time to set that vision, communicating that vision consistently. And when you have an entire organization that is marching in the same direction, the friction compared to what I've seen in others is significantly reduced, and the impact is significant in terms of the results that can be driven. The second learning, every hire is critical, but particularly your first hires, these are absolutely critical beyond belief because they set the bar, they set the standard of excellence for every single individual that's to come. So never, ever, ever compromise on that first hire. When I look at some of my first hires at Catalyst here, they have been exceptional. And what I love most is I don't know that I realized it at the time, but when I was hiring them, I was like, I want someone who's going to come in here. They have, a couple of years of experience under their belt. They're operational focused. They love process. They want to build. They want to be part of the build. And, the added benefit was many of these had manager aspirations. And so they wanted the coaching, they wanted the feedback, they wanted the career path. And it was this beautiful mix of giving them the opportunity to come in early, giving them the opportunity to work with customers in their function, build out those processes, and then as we got to a state of scale and growth, to be able to promote them into management opportunities. And I think so much of the knowledge that they acquired in those IC stages when they were first in the role has just been instrumental in their ability to manage effectively their team, to coach, and to continue to up-level the processes and experience that we've built across each function. Learning number 3, invest in your people and keep that bar damn high. A players want to work with A players, and it's on you as the leader to set that bar, communicate that bar, hold accountability to that bar, and routinely give feedback against that bar. And one of my favorite feedback formats that I picked up from my past experience at Envision was Diamonds and Spades. Give that a quick Google. There's a great little article and a TED Talk on that. But really, it's feedback with specificity. And if you build a system that enables this type of culture with 1, transparency into expectations, and 2, routine accountability and feedback towards this, you just see people excel and grow and be so fulfilled by the work that they're doing. And in the left-hand corner, you'll see like a little snippet screenshot. This was literally the first thing I ever built out at Catalyst. And it is the growth and development path for our customer success managers that clearly articulates what is the expectation of a CSM, a senior CSM, a strategic CSM, and what does that path look like? And this has been an amazing guiding light for both managers, myself, the ICs, to be able to see what's expected of them in their current role to drive excellence, and what's the promotion path for them to be able to do it. It's also an amazing recruiting tool. Whenever we have someone who's recruiting, interviewing with us, and they're like, "Hey, I want to grow my career," I could say, "Hey, we're going to help you grow and develop your career." But more valuably is like, I'm not even going to just tell you we're going to do it. I'm going to show you how we do it, and I pull up this document and I can clearly articulate, this is what my expectations are. This is what our expectations are in terms of helping you grow and develop. And it's an amazing resource to attract incredible talent who really has all the potential in the world if you just show them the way. Learning number 4, your role is going to change when you're in a high, fast-paced environment in particular. So anticipate and prepare to adapt. And if I reflect on my first year, this is definitely a development area. This was not a diamond in terms of feedback for myself. This was a spade. I think, I got caught up in just like trying to do it all. And the reality is the business was growing so quickly, I could not continue to operate as a pseudo high C, pseudo head of customer success. And so I needed to, ground myself in the vision, anticipate the growth that was to come, and prepare myself accordingly to build the right team, the right structure around me to be able to support where I should be spending my time. And I think that this is something that's been critical for me, is like, can I do it? Yes. Should I do it? No. And making sure that I have the disciplines to be able to ask myself that question, and then really articulate where I should and shouldn't be investing my time. This has been a huge one for me, to be able to make sure that I'm dedicating my time and attention to the areas where I can have the most impact as the leader of the customer success team here at Catalyst. This is another spade for Sid in my first year at Catalyst. Again, just like doing it all and thinking that that was okay. And I'll forever be grateful for Kevin and Edward Chu, who were both like, Sid, like, stop. You're just like driving yourself right into the ground. You need to take a break and you need help. And I will forever be grateful for their investment that they have made in me and my executive coach, Rachel Ryder, who has just been absolutely instrumental in helping me gain confidence to ask for what I needed. And I also have to remember that I got hired based on the vision that I communicated in my interview process, what I wanted to achieve here at Catalyst. And it's on me to fulfill that vision. And it's on me to ask for what I need to be able to make that vision a reality. And I think I really like succumb to the like, we're a scrappy startup. Like it's normal to be stretched and like, kind of burning out. And the reality is it doesn't have to be that way, but you are accountable to ensuring that it's not the case. And this has been a really, really valuable lesson learned for me. Um, Anyone who knows me, anyone who's worked with me knows that I like to move at a pretty fast clip. And so while I had aspirations out of day one, joining the customer success team here at Catalyst to just like deliver this beyond mind blowing, exceptional customer experience, the reality is like you do have to crawl before you run. And building an organization takes time. Building the foundation takes time. Hiring takes time. Growing and developing a team takes time. And it really isn't realistic for me to have expected that we could deliver such polish and experience out of the gate, but we could definitely like deliver a great experience. But it's like that next level is not going to happen until the foundation is there. And so I promised earlier when I kicked things off, I'd tell you a little bit about the Jacob's Muffin moments. And this really was a vision that I've had from the get-go. So one of my favorite restaurants in Toronto is called Jacob's Steakhouse. You go, food's incredible, ambiance is amazing, service is exceptional. The night just flies by. You always have the best company with you, and hours go by and you're just like, holy smokes, what an incredible evening. And when you don't think it could get any better, your waiter or waitress comes over to you. They thank you for spending the evening with you. And they go, I can't wait to see you again. As a thank you for spending the night with us, we want to share with you these homemade muffins from our baker in the back. Please enjoy them with your coffee tomorrow morning. They send you home, cute little bag. You wake up the next morning, making your coffee, and you see your Jacob's muffins on your counter. And you're flooded back with the memories of like the incredible evening you've had, the company you were with, the food that was exceptional, the ambiance that was awesome, the service that was just next level. And it is like this gift that keeps on giving. And it feels like this wholly rounded, inclusive experience that is just as good as it gets. And so a couple months ago, I was with my customer success team in New York City, and I said, look, reflecting on 2021, this is the year that we put the foundation in place. 2022 is the year we bring Jacob's Muffin moments to our customers. And I could not be more proud. I started my week this week watching a gong recording of Gloria, one of our amazing senior customer success managers. And what she had delivered was an executive business review that was built out by Siobhan, our incredible director of customer success at Catalyst. And literally, we had a customer, a VP of CS, absolutely gushing, saying this was the best use of her time. She was taking notes, that it was inspirational, that they wanted to replicate this with their team to then deliver their customers. And Gloria and Chiffon, who were on the call, said, don't even worry about taking notes, because our Jacob's Muffin moment is that when Gloria follows up after this EBR, she's going to share with you this template that you can replicate for your team. She's also going to share with you the workflow of how to build a best-in-class EBR workflow and process within your Catalyst instance. And the reaction from the customer is one that I will never, ever forget, because to me, it solidified like we are on to driving extensive value for our customers. And you have to believe in the Jacob's Muffin moments. And these are moments that we couldn't have done 12 months ago. It was not realistic to believe that that could be achieved. But each and every day, if you make progress, take a step forward, Jacob Muffin moments can become your reality. Learning number 7. If you're starting from scratch, you're doing it wrong. This is another amazing example from my executive coach, Rachel Ryder, where I just took on more lift than I needed to, right? Like there's a lot of incredibly talented, incredibly brilliant individuals in the industry, a lot that you can get through Google search or networking. And so making sure that I'm leveraging those around me to not start from scratch. always, right? And to take what's in existence and to be able to, maybe have that get me 50% of the way and invest the additional 50%. But this has been instrumental in us being able to build an incredible customer success organization faster, at the highest of quality, and not compromising that. Number 8, don't delay process standardization in a customer success platform. Like, this has been absolutely instrumental, introducing, CS operations to be able to help support in the management of these processes. At the end of the day, investing in the process is setting the tone and expectation to your team of what the experience should be. And it also helps invest in the appropriate system to have the rigor and discipline to be the effective communicators that we have to be in customer success. Because of the exceptional processes that we've been able to build out, because of the disciplines of our team to follow these processes, I can get on a go-to-market meeting every Wednesday and clearly articulate the next 2 months, 2 quarters out forecasting. I can also clearly articulate every customer that's healthy, at risk, why anyone's at risk, and to be able to give the appropriate signals to our engineering and product design team, in addition to help sales understand who are great fit customers and who are not great fit customers, and how do we adjust our ideal customer profile to be aligned to selling customers that we know we can deliver an exceptional experience to, build incredible advocates for, and help fuel our business, both from the prospect of from the position of new business as well as retention and expansion. So making sure you're investing early in this has been absolutely instrumental in us being able to be very prescriptive with our team and what that best in class experience should look like. This is another one that I love, is investing in customer feedback early. And I think the biggest takeaway here is ask the questions you need answers to. Whole other talk track on NPS, but what does not help me is, are you an 8 or are you a 2? What I need to understand is why. And so one of my favorite questions that I learned on early in my career when I was a CSM way back in the day was the question of straight up asking a customer, if your renewal was tomorrow, would you renew? And the level of honesty and clarity you get, and quite frankly, like the diffusing of anxiety that you get as the CSM to know exactly where your customer stands, is so, so, so impactful. And we've incorporated this into our health score. This is something that we are routinely asking customers in their post-implementation, never too early to ask, in our 6-month survey and after they've renewed. This is something that is a survey process that we are routinely getting customers feedback on, and has been so insightful to help us understand where we're delivering an amazing experience, where we have room for improvement. And in the true form of Jacob Muffin moments at Catalyst, all of this is something that we package to our customers for them to be able to replicate. And it's incredibly fulfilling when you see customers being like, hey, I just ripped off your entire survey and we're now sending it to our customers. This has been so insightful in terms of the information we're learning from them. Like, that is the bar and standard that we want to set for ourselves. And rounding us out, learning number 10 is bring CS to the center. There is a reason this has been Catalyst's mission from day one. There's a reason this conference is called Bringing CS to the Center. You can absolutely fundamentally change your organization when you bring CS to the center, and every single person you hire embodies the significance and the importance of taking what is at the center and using that to their advantage in their respective roles. And when everyone is oriented around the customer and the learnings, what's working, what's not, where there's opportunity and where there are challenges, net dollar retention ultimately, continues to accelerate to up and to the right. And, oftentimes I found many different times throughout my career in CS, like NDR SID is customer success number. And it is a reflection purely of CS. And it is not. It is a reflection of absolutely everyone in the organization, from marketing to the right prospects, from sales, selling to good fit customers, to an EPD organization who is building a roadmap aligned to our ICP that is driving value for our customers, and to an incredible customer success team who is taking all of that goodness of the support that they have around them to help drive that value that was projected in the sales process and is meant to be fulfilled based on the product that we have to offer. So really making sure that you're taking advantage of bringing CS to the center. A couple of tactical things that we do at Catalyst is, notes that come into Catalyst Catalyst based on our CSMs and now implementation managers being on the front lines with customers. That is literally passed into Slack channel called Bring CS to the Center, where everyone in the organization can see the recap of Mel's latest executive business review or Kiko's customer story that she got when she was talking to a customer yesterday. And so to really always have that pulse and that accessibility to what's happening with customers and to make that accessible to the entire organization really brings that customer centricity to the forefront and influences others who don't have the luxury of being in front of customers each and every day to have access to that information and influence their role. So when we think of soup to nuts, 1 to 10, applying all of these key learnings, you can really expect to, one, watch your team flourish. By far, most fulfilling part of my day, each and every day. When I look at my early hires on this customer success team, Diana deserves a shout out here, who recently was a CSM, a Catalyst, and has moved on to our marketing team and is going to do nothing but excel there. It's amazing to see such high quality performers, people, see their growth, their development, to hear them express like they feel fulfilled in the role that they're doing. They feel like they have a purpose, they have a drive, they want to be part of that vision. It's amazing to see. And, you know, we've been very fortunate to have a 100% engagement score when we have gone from 3 to 20 in terms of the satisfaction that our CS team is getting from the support of their incredible managers, from the support of this incredible company and their peers across the organization. It's something that we continue to strive for here. This is really, I think, reflective of bringing CS to the center and investing in those processes early to be able to serve the right insights to the organization. But to see the NDR impact that this customer success team has had, we did not have the right customer to CSM ratio in the early days. We unfortunately felt impact from net dollar retention as a result of that. Not only have we right-sized that and have felt all of the benefits of it, but we've also then been able to get deeper insights into our customers to inform our peers in the sales team and particularly on the product team of learnings that help drive us further up into the right in NDR from a scalable standpoint. The customer love. I mean, you look back a year ago to Bring CS to the Center channel, you know, we had a smaller customer base. We had only a few on the front lines, obviously. And this is a daily occurrence, and I'm not even exaggerating. Danny on our marketing team has done an amazing job of leveraging and mobilizing our advocates based on the incredible experience they've received here at Catalyst, and just to feel the customer love, whether it's G2 crowds, whether it's those emails of like, hey, I just had, you know, an executive business review with Jessica, and it was honestly so valuable, so meaningful. I feel like I'm getting not just value from the product, but also your customer success team, whether it's them saying, hey, I'm going to rip off your messaging for Catalyst Mental Health Day. It's something that we want to do here in our organization, and we love seeing Catalyst lead the charge. Just feeling that love and knowing that we are fulfilling that vision of setting that bar and expectation in the industry is incredible. And then delivering those Jacob Muffin moments. As I shared with you, customer gong recording that I was watching earlier this week, we have been able to put together a repository of all of our best-in-class processes, from deck templates that our team is using all the way through to how to operationalize the workflow, whether it's your executive business review, surfacing customer stories for your sales and marketing team, sales to CS handoff, you name it. We have made it into easy, repeatable, never having to start from scratch, how to automate in Catalyst resources for our customers. And we want to just continue to invest there and help our customers build their best-in-class organizations that fulfill their vision as well. And if you do 1 to 10, set that vision from the get-go, build the team against that vision. You want to be a part of it, hold them accountable, help them, show them way, crawl before you run. All of this ultimately allows to bring you to bring your vision to life. And honestly, I look back at my time since September of 2020, and I have not had a more fulfilling opportunity in my career. The challenge is huge. I know we're just getting started, but I hope these learnings and strategies and results inspire you to be able to take this back to your day-to-day and support the next stage of your growth. See ya.
You're not getting away that easily, Sid. We have a lot of questions. No, of course not. You thought you could just come, show up, say your piece, and then dip? No, that's not customer centric. We have to give the audience their Jacob's muffin
All the
moment.
thing. I'll bring all the muffins. Let's do it.
Excellent. Well, I'm partially thinking we should partner with Jacobs and Co. and then partially worried that they're going to sue us for ripping them off. So I think we need an official partnership and send customers literal muffins. But in the meantime, okay, some burning questions from the audience. We have a few to go through, so we'll see how many we have time for. Going back to point 8, forgive me, I forget what it was exactly, but the question from Derek is, what are the most common processes customers standardize and put into Catalyst?
Ooh, great question. Okay, so I would say some of the most common ones are the executive business workflow, the renewals workflow, sales to CS handoff, just cadence and touch points that they're to be engaging with customers. We also have our latest email functionality, which I would say is driving traction, particularly on the tech touch motion. That's something that customers are always eager to learn more and more about. I think another workflow is just like the centralization. It's not even necessarily like a workflow more than it is like a one-stop shop for you to have all of your information. We know as CSMs and CS leaders, we're hopping between, 6, 7 different tools trying to get a grasp of what the heck is happening with these customers. And you burn a lot of valuable time when you're bopping between these different tools to try and make sense and then analyze yourself, come to a conclusion, and then figure out what you're to do with it. So I would say one of the big workflows is just the ability to have the centralization there. And then one super exciting feature that we've just launched is the new weighted health. I think that is going to be an absolute game changer from a workflow perspective. Not only do you leverage the insights and data that you have in the platform, but then it prescribes to you what is the health of your customer, and specifically what area of the customer's health calculation should you as the CSM be focusing on to be able to drive traction there and get them to a healthy state. So it's all encompassing, soup to nuts, I would say, but those are the kind of primary ones that jump out to us.
Awesome. Okay, and then another great question. This is a great one. And I'm sorry, I don't have the name up, but when I introduce myself, should I introduce myself as a CSM or account manager or technical account manager to my customers? They can often confuse me with support teams. So what title works best or aligns better?
Oh, that's a really great question. So that may be one that's like decided more at a higher level within the organization. I do think like one of the kind of silver linings of the pandemic for anyone in customer success is I think it really elevated the role, right? If I think back to customer success even 4 years ago versus the last 2 years, it's really taken on a life of its own. And so I personally, just like my own Sid take, I love customer success manager by virtue of its, meaning and significance, which is like, I am here to make you successful as a customer, and I'm here to manage that process for you to help you understand what your goals are, how to get value from our platform aligned to those goals and our partnership, and how you've driven results to impact your growth and development, your career aspirations, et cetera. So that's my personal like Sid take on it for what it's worth. But that's also the context as to why.
Amazing. Okay, couple more for you.
Fire away.
There's so many good ones to pick from. This is challenging. Okay, here's an easy one. Will you share this deck? Absolutely. I'm speaking on your behalf. So yes, we will definitely share the deck. We'll be sharing the recording, so you'll be able to watch all of this back and get all of the Sid genius in on demand.
Yeah, and I made it a word heavy so that like you could take the deck and you don't have to watch the whole, you don't have to watch my face talk again, but you can just like hopefully get what you need from the deck. So that was the intention behind it being a little heavier on the text.
Yes, I also haven't heard anyone use the phrase soup to nuts so many times in one short span of time. Love the phrase. Great question from Stefan. I don't know. One of my favorite sayings that I've never heard anyone in the US since living here say is that's a long walk for a ham sandwich. But that's one of my favorite euphemisms. I think it's such a great quote. Anyway, I'm going to bring it back. So Stefan had a great question. With your fast growth, how did you distribute the book of business between the old and the new CSMs while making sure everyone can achieve their targets?
Yeah, so that is a really great question. I think a couple things. One, it started with our one CSM and understanding her capacity and trying to get a balance of like what is too much and what is setting her up for success, Diana. I think what often I have experienced in my past is like hey, CS, you've got to cut corners, but then drive net dollar retention, make sure customers are renewing, make sure they have an amazing experience. And you can't do that when you have 40 high touch customers. Like, you are just going to burn your team out repeatedly. So I think honestly, it just started with having honest conversations of like, if this is the experience we want to deliver our customers, how many hours in a day do we have? What's realistic to believe in terms of the number of accounts a CSM could manage? I think the other piece that we were at a disadvantage of and kind of got us on our back foot was the disciplines on our sales organization. We weren't as refined on their processes yet, right? And so what I mean by that is, like, it would be end of quarter, and I think I've got a handle on my capacity and how many deals we're expecting. And then it was like, boom, wrong, Sydney. There are about 15 more deals that just came out of what felt like nowhere. And so that has been absolutely critical, which is partnering with our sales team, giving them that visibility to help them understand the downstream implications of that. They've been amazing at tightening up their processes, giving us the visibility into what's to come. And then now my implementation manager, who manages our implementation managers, Kyle, as well as Siobhan, our director of customer success, have literally months of foresight into what's to come. We now know, again, with time, how long does it take for us to recruit? From the day we open the job description publicly to the day we hire, we know that it takes 3 months. So we just have like basically a numbers game to our advantage at that time. But the challenge was, in September 2020, we had no data to go off of. There was no historical information for us to be able to base that off of. So it has taken time for us to get that level of visibility and to be able to then reverse engineer what needs to happen when, to ensure that we are constantly making that appropriate balance and book allocation to customers.
Awesome. Okay, a couple more really good questions. I think this is a really important one for folks, for CS leaders especially that are on the call. What are key questions that Edward and Kevin, who are the Catalyst co-founders, CEO and COO, what are key questions that they are asking you about the state of Catalyst customer success? And what questions do you wish they would ask?
Oh man, that's a doozy. Good one. All right.
They're also watching, so, you know.
Exactly. No pressure, Edward and Kevin. Okay, so in terms of questions that they're asking, one is, you know, the overall sentiment of our customer base. Like, are they healthy? Are they happy? Like, making sure that we have great, thriving customers is mission critical, number one. The second is, like, of those who may not be healthy, why? Right? Is it something that we've misset expectations? Have they had organizational changes that have in some way made them no longer a good fit customer? Or do we have gaps in our current product or product roadmap that do not align to this type of organization? So I think they're really challenging me for like the sustainability of the business, right? And the third thing is repeatability, right? We now are at a position where we need to have our processes locked. We need to know that those processes align to a customer renewing and growing and expanding with us. We need to have the repeatable playbooks that we know directly correlate to the success of our customers. And so I would say that those are the top kind of questions and areas that I'm being pressed on. And then in terms of questions they're not asking me, that's a tough one.
How are you so good at your job? Maybe they should be asking me that.
No, that's not what I have to give that one some thought. I honestly, it stumps me because things that would naturally come to my mind are like, I wish they would ask how they could help. I wish they would ask how other people and other functions in the business could help. But that is just like their DNA and how we've operated. And I think why we are as strong as we are as a collective leadership team, as a collective Catalyst team. Like the gotchas that I've experienced in my past and the support I wish I had, there's no gaps. And that is like just the brutally honest answer. So I wish I had a better answer and there was like a true gap, but I really feel the most supported and enabled, and that it's not just CS shouldering the world at a CS company. It is truly the entire collective Catalyst organization all marching in the same direction. And that makes my life a whole lot easier.
All right, I have one final question for you, and I think this is a great one to end on. Cool. Because for those who don't know, you went from CSM to VP of Customer Success in 2 years. We did a blog about it. We did an interview about it. You and I did a podcast about it. Would definitely recommend people check that out. But this question is from Francis, and this is something I think, you know, I definitely see a lot in the community. I'm sure you hear all the time. Is there a space in these fast-paced startup companies for entry-level CSMs who are open to learning and being molded into the CS culture from the start of their career in the role? Like a lot of times, I think, you and I both know, like we see companies, and I'm sure we're guilty of this sometimes too, where like we need someone who can hit the ground running. We need someone who has 2 years experience as a CSM. And so for people who want to get in, like that can be a challenge. So like, well, is there space for people that come from different backgrounds? And maybe my own follow-up question is, what do you recommend, if you're someone who comes from a not CS specific background, but wants to get into a CSM role?
Yeah, the answer is 100% yes. And I'll give you an example. I, months ago, had someone reach out to me on LinkedIn, young girl, reminded me of old school Sid back in the day when I was early in my career and just needed a shot, right? Like at the end of the day, I just needed to get, my feet under me, like, and just try things. And she's like, hey, I saw your blog post on your career trajectory. And the reality is I'm in the hotel industry. And I want to be in customer success. And this is why I believe I want to be in customer success. And I know you're super busy, but would you be open to giving me 30 minutes of your time? I'm going to come prepared with questions. And what I would like to understand is validating what I believe to be my strengths, what I believe to be my passions, and whether you believe that is going to correlate to my success in the customer success industry. I was like, I will take that call. I take that call, and you can just tell she's a driver, right? Like she knows what she wants. She knows she's in a position where she is working in a hotel industry, working on customer experience, but wants to be a customer success like CSM in CS, has that level of conviction. And then she concludes this call, and she's like, Sid, I'm going to be like outright. I learned so much on this call. I want to have you on my board of directors. Will you be an advisor to me moving forward for my career? I was like, I will, because she has this like level of conviction in terms of the success that she wants to aspire to achieve. And this young gal has now not only landed her first customer success job, she has excelled in it and received 2 promotions based on opportunities that have come up. Now, I said to her, I was like, I feel like you're now me, which is like these ridiculous, like, career path. I'm like, don't set your expectations that this is normal. But I think the reality is when you are passionate about something, when you feel to your core that this is what you are meant to do, when you have those strengths aligned to what the role actually expects of you, like anything can happen. Just don't give up. Be persistent in your pursuit of it. And I think she's an amazing example of making that happen for her. So yes, absolutely. Can you go from nothing to something? I started in support literally 11 years ago. I was the first ever support person at a 12-person startup. They handed me my laptop on day one, said, open it up. Toronto Maple Leafs are pissed. You're going to have to figure that out. I knew nothing. I had just come out of school. And the reality is, like, each and every day, continue to push yourself, continue to learn. I had amazing advice early from John Zifkin, my first ever manager, said, make a mistake, no problem. Make the same mistake twice, then we're going to have a conversation. Fail. There's no wrong answer. Just don't screw it up twice and you're good to go. And so that has stuck with me and definitely been the pursuit and the passion to push forward.
Amazing. Well, Sid, thank you so much for your time. I will let you go. There were so many great questions. So I would recommend that people follow up with Sid separately. We'll drop her LinkedIn in the chat. I see some Catalyst folks have already been dropping helpful links to her blog and our podcast interview and all of that good stuff. So again, thanks for joining, and excellent presentation. Excited to hear more from you soon.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the conference.